Hello everyone, today we're doing a video on the Shadows of the Empyreans. Well, I'm not actually sure their real name. I don't think they've been entirely officially named, but that's what I'm going to say. What I'm talking about is like Blaidd and Maliketh and their kin. Just before we get into the video though, I just wanted to say I'm very sorry for not uploading the last month. I took a bit of a break because I wasn't feeling very well, quite poorly and sick, and then I had this cold and this stomach bug, and then I've just been really tired this last month, so I am again very sorry for not uploading. I hope you guys can forgive me, or girls. Anyway, that's enough talk about that. Let's get into the video, everyone. In Elden Ring there are two, possibly three shadows that we know about. Blaidd, Shadow of Ranni, Maliketh, Shadow of Marika and her half-brother, and the one at the end of Ranni's questline. Although it calls itself a shadow, we do not know if it once had the same occupation as Blaidd and Maliketh. It is known as a assassin for the two fingers, though we do not know the backstory of this character. If we go and speculate, if this was a shadow of an Empyrean, perhaps this was either Miquella's or Malenia's shadow. Now I know what you're thinking, you're going, I can already hear you, I'm telepathic like that. You're going, how is that possible? Well, if you look at who the shadows are, they're all Empyreans who have got a shadow that we know of. Marika is an Empyrean, Ranni is an Empyrean, and there's only two other Empyreans that we know of. Well, that's what Ranni says at least, Miquella and Malenia. So, and it's just convenient that a few steps after Ranni tells us that, we encounter this shadow. If, and I mean emphasis on the if, this was actually their shadow, one or the other, then a reason why it's not with it is because we know that Miquella abandoned the Golden Order, for it could not find a cure. It did not possess a cure for his sister's scarlet rot. And with their loyalty, the shadows I mean, to the Golden Order, is it really hard to believe that the shadow turned its back on its former master? Of course, like all things in life, there are exceptions, like for example, the shadow of Ranni, Blaidd. From dialogue we can acquire from Ranni, we can infer that she and Blaidd possessed a strong friendship. Some might even call it a brotherly, sisterly relationship. You know what I'm trying to say, you understand. But anyway, so when the time came for Ranni to abandon the Golden Order and start her path to start the Age of the Stars, Blaidd joined her, and through this familial love that they both shared, he broke the ties that his species, the Shadows, had been bound by for countless centuries. Now, while a lot of this video, well, the last part at least, has been about speculation, this part that I've just said does have proof. In the Royal Greatsword item description it states, Greatsword decorated in Royal Carian style, favoured weapon of Blaidd the half-wolf. In defiance of the fate he was born to, Blaidd swore to serve no master but Ranni. As proof, the sword was imbued with a cold magic at the moment the oath was sworn. I imagine it wasn't just Ranni that made him turn his back on the Golden Order. Species like the misbegotten, the omens, so on and so on, so many different people had been dealt injustice by the Golden Order. The omens, for example, were used as tools of war, while also being disgusted and disgraced and known as pariahs, hunted down. Most didn't even survive past infancy due to their horns being cut off. This was usually fatal. Even their own accursed omen blood was used to forge weapons for the Golden Order to further help their cause. Those omens born of royal blood were kept deep under the capital, although their horns were never cut. The misbegotten were used as servants and slaves at Castle Morn and multiple other places in the lands between. One of the first people to help these species was perfumer Tricia. I think I've pronounced that right. As her ashes remained stayed. Tricia was once known as a healer who dedicated her efforts to treating misbegotten omen and all those seen as impure. When her efforts failed, she was their companion as they died, watching over them to ensure that they could pass peacefully, free of pain, a tale akin to the origins of the deathbed companions. Taking all these things into consideration, plus his friendship with Ranni, is it any wonder that he chose to go against the Golden Order, and the path chosen for him? Blaidd was lucky in a sense, having a kind master and being able to understand the atrocities the Golden Order committed, but Maliketh did not have a kind master, and he did not understand the atrocities. And so, in Caelid, in the bestial sanctum, with the destined death being bound inside his flesh, he writhes around, hand clutched to his chest, seeking death through it to satiate the insatiable hunger of death. I'll let you listen to some dialogue that Maliketh says, just so you can hear the raw emotion of pain and hunger in his voice.
Death, feeding me, tarnished, bring more death I shall grant thee. Eye and claw, feed me more.
Maliketh came into possession of destined death after he defeated the gloam-eyed queen. Supposedly he was ordered by Marika to defeat her. He held destined death and made it become his blade, becoming Maliketh the Black Blade, capable of killing immortals. But eventually a shard of it was stolen, and when he came to and realised his death, his rune of death was stolen, he bound it inside of his flesh. Possibly this was an order of Marika. Whether it was or wasn't is up to the imagination, but either way, when it was inside his flesh, he developed an insatiable hunger for death root. And this might be a coincidence, but inside of Maliketh's boss room there is a depiction of Marika and 3 wolves, perhaps 3 shadows. And sadly that is all we have time for today. I hope you all did enjoy the video and find it informative. If it was informative, consider leaving a like and subscribe. If it wasn't informative, you hated the hell out of it and wanted to beat the hell out of me, then please let me know down below so I know to improve for the next video. Anyway, I won't keep you any longer. Hope you all have a great rest of your day.